democracy, human rights, and the rule of law, values that are universal and belong to all people, including the people of Vietnam. Je suis ravi d'être parmi vous à votre capitale nationale pour souligner l'appui du Canada pour le respect des droits de la personne, de la liberté de religion, de la liberté de l'expression pour les peuples de Vietnam. It's an honor to be with you and to remember the amazing contribution that Canadians of Vietnamese origin have made now in this country for decades, all of you reinforcing our country's founding values. Canada is grateful for having had the opportunity to accept some 60,000 of the Vietnamese Indo-Chinese boat people and to have seen the flourishing of their children and grandchildren. As you stand here today, you remind us of the importance of our democracy. And I say to you, I am proud to belong to a government that has consistently stood by the principles of human rights around the world and for the people in Vietnam, as Prime Minister Harper did in Hanoi in 2006 as the first ever Canadian head of government to pointedly raise the imprisonment of political prisoners and the violation of human rights in Vietnam.
Thank you.
And now we call upon the Vietnamese government to release all of the political prisoners, all of those who are behind bars for the crime of celebrating Mass, of going to church, of distributing flyers supporting democracy, of merely singing songs about freedom. We call for the release of Tri Viet Cong, Dr. Nguyen Quoc Con, Father Nguyen Van Ly, Duyen Tan Tam, Ko Ha Huy, and all of the other political prisoners who must be liberated.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Nous exigeons la libération de tous les prisonniers politiques du Vietnam et une fin à la suppression des droits de la religion, de l'expression et la volonté démocratique du peuple de Vietnam. We are reminded that freedom is not free. As we see the veterans here who proudly defended democracy and freedom in Vietnam, we remember that Canadians have paid the ultimate sacrifice around the world and continue. To risk their lives in the defense of democracy. And Canada did so proudly during the Cold War because it understood that there was not a moral equivalence between the totalitarian impulse of communism and the freedom of the democratic societies such as Canada. And that is why our government will be building just a couple of blocks from here a monument to the victims of communism, including the martyrs of Free Vietnam. Those who were tortured in re-education camps, those who are separated from their families, those who are yet unfound, who have been lost and who have been disappeared by the Vietnamese and other communist governments. And we are doing this, we are building this memorial to the victims of communism because some Canadians never understood or who have forgotten the crimes that some 100 million people in the last century whose lives were taken by soulless communist regimes. Just over there, I see someone carrying a flag, a communist banner of Che Guevara, a communist who was responsible for the deaths of thousands of people and the creation of a communist dictatorship in Cuba. We must remind people like that about the crimes of communism so that they are not repeated today or in the future.
Yeah, thank you.
Down with the Vietnamese communists!
Down!
And so I want to close by saying that in our cooperation with the Vietnamese community, we are welcoming, as Dr. Cam Ly said, many more of the Romanian Vietnamese refugees from Southeast Asia. On est heureux d'avoir accueilli avec la collaboration de la communauté vietnamienne 260 ressortissants vietnamiens qui étaient aux Philippines, et beaucoup de ces gens-là sont parmi nous maintenant à Ottawa. And I'm also pleased to tell you that we will be working with the community, as Dr. Lee has said, to welcome some of the remaining Vietnamese refugees who have been living now for over 3 decades in Thailand, and we are also working to help bring some of those left in Cambodia, because Canada will continue to be a land of freedom and opportunity for all people, including the Vietnamese people. Thank you for coming here, and never give up the struggle. Merci beaucoup.
One last moment, because we have some other things to take care with you. First, let me ask them, did you like what he said?
Yeah!
I can't hear you. Did you like him?
Yes!
Did you like what he said?
Yes!
Who's our best friend?
Yes!
Who's our best friend?
Yes!
Who's our best friend?
Yes!
Who do we love?
Yes!
Did you like it? And now,
Không nghe rõ trả lời.
he's our best friend and the friend forever, for life, right? And I'll ask Dr. Gunn to do the next thing with Mr. Kenny.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kenny. Thank you very much for your warm remarks. Kính thưa quý vị, ông Chelsea Kenny có nhắc lại là chính phủ Canada đã chấp thuận sẽ xây một cái đài tưởng niệm các nạn nhân của chế độ cộng sản. Và cũng nhắc lại là trong thế kỷ vừa qua có 100 triệu người đã bị giết một cách oan uổng, đã thiệt mạng cách oan uổng dưới tay của chế độ cộng sản. Và ông ta cũng nhắc lại là chính phủ Canada sẵn sàng đón nhận những người Việt tị nạn còn lại ở bên Thái Lan và ở bên Cambodia. Thank you very much for your now I'd like to ask Mr. Chai Nguyen to present a letter to ask you to bring to Prime Minister Stephen Harper. Thưa quý vị, ông Nguyễn Thành Dân, đại diện Liên hội Người Việt Canada sẽ trao cho ông Bộ trưởng Kenny một lá thư để đệ trình lên Thủ tướng Stephen Harper. Xin cảm ơn quý vị. Thank you very much, Minister.
I will present the letter and the banner to the Prime Minister, and our best friend is Canada. And thank you for helping to build this beautiful country.
Thank you!
Kính thưa quý vị, sau đây chúng tôi xin được giới thiệu